Hello, hello, hello. Do I have audio now? I feel like my all my tech is like playing games. It's a Monday. Lucille, can you let me know if we have audio? Yay, you can hear me. Great. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I had to switch to my backup headset because hey, technology. Hello, hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Success Bully is an elite accountability practice, so that makes me your personal professional butt kicker. And thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to share with you. We're so excited um, to celebrate your wins because I'm predicting that everyone that is engaging in this community that you're going to have a really big year. This is going to be that breakout year. This is going to be the year that you accomplish everything you set out to do. This is the year where you take no prisoners. This is the year where you give the best version of you show up as the best version of yourself. This is the year where you blow your financial goals out of the water. This is the year where you're going to transform lives. This is the year where you're going to build your platform. This is the year where you're going to step into new doors and step into new opportunities. This is the year that you are going to prove to yourself that you are a CEO, that you are a coach or consultant, that you are a boss lady. This is the year. This is the year, and that's what I'm saying to everyone who is leaning into this community, that's leaning into the work that we do here. I want that for you. I want this to be a record breaking year for you. And January tried to get away from us. January is almost out the door. Um, but it's not too late. It's not too late to recommit yourself. It's not too late to get back into motion. It's not too late to step into that purpose that you've been called for. And I'd like to say, my loving older sister sent me this dress, and I feel like it's given a whole different energy. Like I love cobalt. I always feel confident and just sassy pants in cobalt. But I feel like I'm giving like first lady of the church energy, like of a mega church. I'm giving the no weapon formed against me energy in this dress. I'm giving the I'll pray for you energy. I feel like I'm giving prayer warrior energy in this dress. So y'all go ahead and get you some cobalt. So like I said, I know this is going to be the best year for you. And so the last couple weeks, we've been focused around the themes of growing pains and business gains that, like I said, we're going to have a very big year. And so with that, when you grow, especially when you grow fast, you may experience some not so fun things, or you may experience having to scale up a team rather quickly, or you may experience having to take a step back to move it forward. And so today I want to talk about world class service. So like I said, you're growing. This is going to be your best year yet. This is going to be the year that you take it to the next level, that you have a consistent flow of new clients, and your clients are getting the results. And so I wanted to just kind of share with you some thoughts around how do you make sure your clients have that world class experience with you, that they have that world class service, that um, they want to stay with you in terms of moving up your ascension ladder, so moving up to graduating to the next program with you. They want to lean into whatever it is that you're sharing at the time, and more importantly, they want to share you with their friends, so they want to send referrals your way. They've had such a phenomenal experience that they cannot say enough about you. And so the way that I want to just kind of think about this is just give you some little tidbits. But I have to quote one of my coaches right out of the gate. And he said this to me with no uncertain terms. no uncertain terms, that the two things your clients want from you and need from you, they want results and they want to feel loved. So I want you to step back from what you're doing right now and look at, what can you do to ensure they get the results, right? Are there any tweaks that you have to add? And what can you do to extend um, another touch point or another way to express your love to them, that they feel loved, that they feel supported, right? So what else can you do? So take what you can. If there's nothing else you take from this live stream, I want you to remember the two things that your clients need from you: results and to feel loved. Now, the results part is always a challenge because we are not their COOs. We're not their chief operation officer. So we're not going to do the work for them. We're not their operator. We're not going to rally the team around them to get the work done. They actually have to do the work, right? So, but we can advise and we can help them formulate strategies and game plans and what are the tactics in what order to get there. But ultimately, they have to take the action themselves. And that can be frustrating in coaching, to, share sound strategy and your clients don't take the action. So that can be a frustrating point. But here's some other things I want you to consider. So if you want to kind of have that world class experience for your clients, you want to be best in class. You want them to feel that love and that those results. Make it easy to work with you. Make it easy to work with you. Make sure that you're organized, you're prepared, and you consistently communicate with them. Make it easy to work with you. So one thing that I've set up in my business for our one-on-one clients, I have 2 days that I take meetings. On Tuesday and Thursday, I meet with our one-on-one clients. And so we're not playing client Jenga trying to get everybody on the calendar. You pick a time and I book you out for the rest of the year because I asked for a year-long commitment. I book you out same time, same place, same time, same place. Same time, same day, same place, right? So that it's a recurring meeting. You know what to expect. I know what to expect. You know, your you get a follow-up email after every call. I make it easy to locate it. You have a tracking system that we build together, and you have access to it's a shared document, but it's in the calendar invite. So you can find it every time you click on the call, right? And so make it easy to work with you, standardize things, have systems, and make sure your clients it's easy for them to get in touch with you. It's easy for them to communicate with you. You're reaching out between appointments. And just make it easy. Make the experience easy that there's no guesswork, that they don't have to look all over. I think it is a challenge in some ways that there is not that I've seen, there's not a platform that handles every piece of a coaching engagement. And there's not a platform that handles every piece of a consulting engagement. So there's all these disparate platforms that you have to go to that don't always talk to one another to find things. So figure out the best way to communicate those things, make it nice and easy for your clients. So make it easy for them to work with you. Make sure that you understand them, and I think that when we start a new engagement, we make sure that we do some assessments so we kind of understand personality. We understand how our clients self-sabotage because during the time you work with one another, that will come up, right? Because like while you have your coaching methodology, there are things that you'll have to tailor for the individual client. There are things that will need to be tailored. And so I just want you to consider that in order to tailor, in order to really show up for someone, in order to advise them, and support them, you have to understand them. And to understand someone, you actually have to listen, right? You have to ask those piercing questions. You have to ask those questions that go deep, that go beyond like the scratching the surface. And I find that there are times where you have to say things that your client might not want to hear, you know, and you have to be able to deliver that in a way that doesn't sour your relationship. And the way that you do that is to understand someone. So if that's, you have to add an assessment tool, you have to add a new client questionnaire, or quarterly questionnaires, or however long your engagement is, to get that better understanding of them. So be it. Because like, if we don't understand motivations, if we don't understand stumbling blocks, if we don't understand passion points and values, um what I value is not necessarily what you value, right? And what I'm passionate about is not always going to be the same thing you're passionate about. So we have to ask those deep questions and truly get an understanding, right? And know that your relationship deepens over time. You're not going to be these close, trusted advisor right out of the gate. That happens with time. Right? It happens with time, but it is possible. It is possible to experience that, to share that. It is possible. So understand them, make it easy. Um, Focus on the results. Like, make sure that you're clear about that outcome that you're going to work together towards, and that you have step by step game plan. Now, I literally had a coach once upon a time that would show up to coaching call like, "Well, what do you want to talk about today?" I mean, that's helpful. And I would sit down and prepare what I wanted to talk about, but it's not necessarily linear, right? And so I think that we have to kind of separate mentorship from coaching, in that mentorship is supportive and can be solution oriented. But when it comes to coaching, we have to be really clear about the outcome that we're working towards. We have to be really clear about the steps we're going to take. And we have to be really clear about our client knowing the next step, that they know the next step that they're going to take, that it's not a mystery, that we're not just having a therapy session when we have these coaching calls, right? So focusing on the result. And again, this is a tough one because we have to hold them accountable, right? And so, like I said, you cannot do the work for your clients, but you can be supportive, and you can ask them to operate at a certain level of integrity. Because, if you're not taking the action, or you say to me, "Oh, I did this. I reached out to 25 people and I didn't hear back from them." Whether you did it or not, that's going to show up on your P&L, right? So if you can lie to me about the actions that you're taking, but your results are not going to lie. And so we have to hold them accountable in a way that, yeah, I am not calling you, I'm not ringing the shame bell here. I'm not shame, shame. And I'm not following you around the town square, belittling you for not doing what you said you were going to do. I want you to understand that if you continue with the lack of action, you're not going to get the results. And your results don't lie. Your results are going to show that you did not take that action. So whether you share the contact list with me, with everyone that you emailed and everyone you said you were going to talk to in the last week, whether you do that or not, your results don't lie. Right? And so that's the level of accountability we have to offer. We have to be willing to say those things. We have to be willing to say, you know, every week we're getting on, we're saying the same thing over and over every week, but something should have moved by now. So let's break this down. Let's approach this a little differently, right? So holding them accountable and then celebrating those wins. I think that oftentimes, especially in our space, we work with hyperachievers, which it's a double-edged sword to be a hyperachiever in the sense that you are where you are based on your performance and your willingness to go that extra mile and to work really, really hard. Being a hyperachiever has served you well. But also, when you are a hyperachiever, there is the tendency to be on an achievement wheel. You hit a milestone, and before you even celebrate and reflect on it, you're on to the next thing. You're kicking down that next door, right? You don't even do a victory lap, or you don't celebrate the process. Because oftentimes we get so obsessed with the end goal that we don't even acknowledge that we're working through the process, right? I like to celebrate the actions that are taken to get to the end goal. Because sometimes the end result is so far out there that it'll feel like this grind where you're just eh, eh. I recently celebrated with a client taking a few days off. Again, hyperachievers will go, 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 go till their bodies give out. And so I'm celebrating you taking some time off to rest and to practice self-care. I'm celebrating that, right? Because it's out of the norm for a hyperachiever. So celebrating those wins, even if it's small stuff, because I think like even the micro wins, those wins that we can blow right past, those are the ones that have a compound effect, right? If you hit, if you did what you said you were going to do, that's a win. And like I like to give green boxes on our trackers, and I'll tell clients, I'm giving you a green box. I'm giving you a green box. Whenever they get a new project or a new client, I literally have a bell here on my desk that I ring in their honor, right? And I ring it for myself. I get a kick out of ringing the bell, right? I get a kick out of it. So celebrate those wins, big and small. Celebrate the process. Be their biggest cheerleader. I think that a lot of hyperachievers are the go-to in their network, and they're the support, the emotional support peacock for their friends and their family. And there's not a lot of people rah-rahing them. So be their biggest cheerleader. And last, before I jump on out of here, is be a resource, right? Be a resource. Because sometimes there are things that come up in coaching that are outside of your specialty, right? But you can point them in the right direction. Or like, I just saw an article that was produced by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and it listed all of these phenomenal grants for small businesses. I sent that around to everybody that I could think of, right? They didn't ask me for it. I sent it to them, just being a resource and being of good help. And, whether they're a current client, a prospective client, or, they've transitioned off our coaching roster, we try to be a resource throughout their experience. So, like I said, when we kind of bucket it out into three things, you want to focus on them, focus on the results, and celebrate those wins. That's, focusing on them is understanding them, making it easy to work with you, um, making that experience easy. The results are like having that plan, really holding them accountable, and showing up for them as the best version of yourself so that they can aspire to be the best version of themselves. And so if you're really struggling, now that you have a few clients, or that you've got this onslaught of new clients coming in, really struggling to kind of standardize that experience with them, to make sure that everyone gets the best experience with you, I can't leave this live stream without extending an invitation to book a strategy session. If you're feeling stuck right now in your coaching or consulting business, if you're feeling like your results don't lie, your results are telling you a story, and you want to change that narrative, I want to encourage you to book a strategy call. Like, we have time on my calendar the next couple weeks, and again, I want to make sure that this is your best year yet. So, like, let's not wait until you are in the entrepreneurial trough of despair and you're not sure what to do next. Reach out. Let's get some time to chat with one another. So, once again, I am Keita Williams. I am the founder and chief strategist of Successfully. Let's get after it.